I'm your spiritual evolutionist, and this is Flowing Freedom Friday. Yes, as we enter into this space, into this place, into this creative ability to manifest from the inside out the greatness that you've been purposed to be, that you've been destined to be. So, as we enter into that space this morning, listen, let's free ourselves. And we free ourselves by meditation. It is the medication for your life. Meditating day and night will cause you to be your greatest version of yourself. It will cause you to expand your consciousness. It will cause you to clear your mind. It will cause you to go heart first thinking. Go heart first thinking, then line it up with head first. It will cause you to go to your insight instead of your eyesight. Everything in your eyesight is illusional. So when you go in, you'll never be without. Right? Right. So today, on this Freedom Flowing Frequency Friday, we made it. So if you're viewing this video, we made it. And so you should celebrate. So today we're going to meditate. But when we begin to meditate, I want you to pay attention to the place in the space that you feel within your solar plexus, that energy field around your abdomen, that feeling of certainty. For God is moved by the feelings, by your feelings. Not talking about emotional, but we're talking about the frequency of that feeling that you have when you know you can meet your demands. That energy that flows when you know that you have whatever it is you need in order to satisfy the demand that's on your life. See, stress comes when the demand is greater than the energy that you possess in your inner being. And so sometimes we have to eliminate some of the demands based on their importance or priority, or we have to do the meditation, which increases our energy. We have to open our chakra energies because some of us are blocked. It's like stopped up. Your energy is not moving because you become a monument instead of a movement. And when that occurs, everything stops. Because remember, your energy and everything, you're not just human. You're that energy, that power, that anointing that comes from the spirit, from the inside out. And so when we begin to meditate, I want you to pay attention. I even want you to put your hand in your gut area. Remember, you said you have a gut feeling? This is the feeling that I want you to imagine and experience as we meditate this morning. We're going to do it a little longer than usual because I sense that there are some things that need to be moved. And because they're a monument and they're not moving in your life, it's causing you stress. And so what we want to do today is what we will to do today is eliminate the stress. Maybe some of you are hurting. Maybe some of you, your loved ones have transitioned and you're feeling empty, or you're feeling like you just don't know what you feel like. You're just experiencing the thought of not having that person there, not being able to call them personally. But what we're going to do is we're going to focus and we're going to pay attention and we're going to be mindful of the feeling that we will to feel. You know, how can you move that monumental feeling of loss to a feeling of gratification, to a feeling of joy of having that person have been in your life, remembering the good times, remembering the last words, remembering things that cause you to feel another kind of way. Now, you don't have to stop feeling the missing feeling because we all experience that. But what we need to do is to be able to shift that. Because again, I told you, for those of you that are in mourning, And we established with one of my friends, Ron, that morning is the flip side of morning. Because if you look at how morning is spelled, it's Mourning, and morning is spelled Morning. So it's kind of a flip with those letters. So the moment that your morning transitions into morning, you begin to see the light on the situation. No matter how dark it is, no matter how painful it is, no matter how it has brought you to a point that you think you're going to break, you have to change what you're thinking. Because the thing that we talked about it, the thing that you pay attention to, the thing that you focus on, and the thing that you are mindful of is the thing that you create in your atmosphere. And so today, as we begin to meditate, I want you to place your hand in your solar plexus area, which is your gut area. And I want you to experience in your mind what it will feel like if you were in the greatest place in your life. No pain, no worries, no problems, no issues, no mourning, no sadness. And then close your eyes and experience that. What does it feel like for you to have nothing going in a low frequency, in a sadness, in a pain, in a disappointment, in a hurt? What's the opposite of that? What's the polarity of that? Begin to feel that. Imagine that in your gut area. Put your hand near your stomach area, your gut area, and begin to imagine, mindful, focus, pay attention to the feeling that you will feel if nothing was wrong, nothing was hurting you, nothing was stressing you, nothing was saddening you, all of those things. How does it feel? You will feel the moment that you reach that, you'll feel tingling go through your body, because it is the energy that you're opening up in your body to feel. It's all right to feel, but be in authority over your feelings. Don't allow your feelings to govern your breath. Allow your breath to govern your feelings. So we're going to inhale from the root chakra, which is at the base of the spine, taking it all the way up to the crown. We're going to do it in counts of 4. We're going to inhale in 4. We're going to hold in 4. And we're going to release in 8. So begin to put your stomach there, eyes closed. Focus on your imagination of your feeling when everything is in order and everything is good and things are happening for you. Right now, let's breathe in. Let that air go all the way down to the bottom of your feet. Come on, let's breathe in. Hold it. Release it out of your mouth with the sound of air. Push out those toxins all the way to the bottom of your feet so that you can be grounded and be able to stand. Come on, let's do it again. Breathe in. Hold it. Release it. Take it all the way down to the bottom of your feet. Begin to see that air go down. Let's do it again. Stomach on your solar plexus. Breath from your root chakra, which is the base of your spine, taking it all the way up to your crown chakra, which is your connection to the most holy one, and then letting out those toxins with a force, like the force of an ocean, that ocean air sound. Let's go. Breathe in. Hold it. Let it go. It's like an ocean, the sound of an ocean, the waves, the frequency, the energy is causing you to stabilize yourself, causing you to feel an emotion that you want or you will to feel. Okay, open your eyes. You're in that present state of being. Remember, the inhale provides energy. The exhale relaxes your muscles, relaxes you, relaxes your mind, relaxes your thoughts. and bring you into a center of being in total dominion over your land. This is your land. And as you begin to do that on a daily basis, you teach yourself, or you help yourself remember who you are, whose you are, why you're here, what your purpose is, and what your destiny is. So on this Freedom Friday, we want to free ourselves because we should not be entangled in the cares of the world because we're creators. So whatever care comes or whatever demand comes, we already know that the supplier and the supply is greater than the demander and the demand. And so when cares come, we have to encourage ourselves. We have to encourage ourselves that the supply is greater than the demand and the supplier I am co-creating with. I am living out of the imagination of the Most High One, the greatest one, and his imagination is unlimited. So there's nothing on this Freedom Friday that will come your way today that you cannot handle. The thing is, when you talk yourself out of handling it. So our subject today, I went a long way to get here, but our subject is today, when we stop making excuses, the rivers of living water will flow. When we stop making excuses as to why we can't, why we won't, why we didn't, why we couldn't, then you open the door for the rivers of living water to flow. It takes us out of our negativity frequency. We're energy. Takes us out of that, and it moves us into a high frequency where the flowing. Remember now, we have multiple streams of income, which is the energy. I'm not talking about currency right now, although we have multiple streams of that too. But when we get the inside in the proper alignment of the flowing and stop making excuses why we're not. Can't do that because I'm African American, or I can't do that because I'm not old enough. I can't do that because I'm too old. I can't do that because they won't let me. Who is they? I can't do that because it didn't work the last time. I can't do that because I don't have enough currency. I can't do that. When we remove the excuses of why we can't, why we won't, why we couldn't, why we didn't, then we move into opening up the flow of the rivers of living water. See, all those can'ts are killing waters. They're that type of water that sits and begins to smell. If water doesn't flow, it smells. Because it sits there and it gains a whole lot of toxic. Because that's why we are a movement, not a monument. And when we sit still and we sit in our problems, and we sit in our situation, and we sit in our sickness, and we sit in our currency problems, when we begin to sit there, we become toxic to ourselves because the rivers are not flowing. For every situation, God has provided you a way of escape. We always talk about escape is not just tiptoeing out, but an escape is a run, is a quick motion. We move into the now, we move into the immediately, we move into the right now, we move into the flow, we move into the force. No more excuses. Because if you have breath and you're sitting in this space of creativity, in the imagination of God, in the unlimited power, in everything that you have been provided with before you were in the womb, then you have no excuse why you can't get out, why you won't get out, why you decided not to get out, and then complain about it. See, our mouths have cursed ourselves, because whatever you're sowing with your mouth, you're reaping it in your life. Whatever you're thinking in your heart, You're reaping it in your life. So the clarity of knowing, yes, God is the ultimate power, and we can't do anything without that power. But that power lives in you. The same power that created this world. Woo! I feel that. I had to stop for a minute. The same power that created this earth is the same power that's working in you. Whew. Spoke the world into existence. Imagined the world, saw it, perceived it, spoke it, sowed it, and then reaped it. What? Woo-hoo. That's good in the neighborhood. If you would get that kind of energy, when you're focusing on the things that you will for your life, you begin to manifest it immediately. You were like, how did that happen? Oh, that happened quick. What caused that to happen? Oh my God. So if we have that same power that was spoken to create the earth, the heavens, the animals, us, then we must operate in that same power. In the Bible, it says Jesus found it not robbery to be one with the Father, to think like the Father, to speak like the Father, to create like the Father. You have got to stop thinking as yourself as just being human. Because let me tell you, you are so much greater. We just been conditioned to think we have those limitations. We have limitations in the flesh because the flesh is illusional and dead. But in the soul and the spirit, unlimited. When I say unlimited, I mean unlimited. So what you have to do is meditate, not just in the breathing. The breath is what puts the life and the light into the things that you speak. But your imagination and your perception, as you begin to see those things from the inner eye and not the outer eye, you take yourself in a whole different dimension. Remember, we're multidimensional, flesh, soul, and spirit, and above. And when we allow ourselves to stop making excuses, then the rivers flow. It allows you to ride the wave. It allows you to go places in your spirit that you don't go in your flesh. And when you line up those multi-dimensional dimensions that you operate in, you obtain power. It says, wait there until you're endued with power. Don't move until you're endued with power. Don't make a decision until you're endued with power. Don't make a move until you're endued with power. What do I mean by that? When you're focusing and you're encouraging yourself and reminding yourself of who you be. You're not being, you be. You're a God be. And when you become a God be, you start being. So don't say I'm trying to be, because you're not trying to be. You're a be. You're there. I'm trying to get there. No, you're there. You're there in the spirit because everything is already in the atmosphere. God has already prepared a place for you in the atmosphere, in the energy realm. It's already prepared. The only thing you have to do is, but more so not in this atmosphere, but in this atmosphere on the inside. So let's keep it on the inside. So you just have to go on the inside. You have all these things, your career, your businesses, your children, your health, all of that's on the inside. When I say atmosphere, I'm saying out here, but it's really in here. So it's in here first, and there's all those things in there. And so you have to go in and begin to pull them out. It's almost like a magician who has this big old hat, and he goes in and pulls a rabbit out of the hat. But it's not magic. It's that abracadabra moment when you begin to create as you speak, or as it was spoken, it is done. That's what abracadabra means. That's that miracle moment. I create as I speak, or it is created as I have spoken. What? So when you design your abracadabra moment, you stop making excuses about why you can't, why you won't, why you couldn't, why you don't. And you move into a dimension of creativity. You cannot have the Father in you, the presence of the Holy Spirit, the Chitta Prana, the Kundalini, the chakras, the energy. You can have none of that if you don't stop making excuses. You're equipped with that. God has allowed you this moment. Whether you believe in God or not does not mean that He's not God. Your belief in God does not establish that God is here. So whether you say you're an atheist and don't believe in God, listen, the next time a person tells you they're atheist and they don't believe in God, the first thing that happens when an accident or something detrimental happens, they say, oh my God. At the name, every knee, not some knees, not white knees, not black knees, not Chinese or Japanese or Indian, Dominicans, Jamaicans, not just those titles of knees. We're just talking about the knee is for bowing. You have to bow to that power. So, on Freedom Friday, when are you going to stop making excuses as to why you don't? You open the gate. So today, we're going to open the door for our rivers to flow. And when you open the door, it's from the inside out. And so you begin to open the door. When you open your door, you pull the door in to let what's ever outside access to what's inside. So we have to open that door from the inside to manifest things on the outside. So we're going to stop making excuses, right? 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 Yeah. We're going to begin to make affirmations, mantras. Now, affirmation is making an uncertainty verbally that you see from the inside so that you can manifest it on the outside. The power of life and death is in your tongue, is in your language. So your affirmations are, and your mantras, always start out with I am. I am is a check that will always be cashed, whether negative or positive. So you must be mindful, focus, and pay attention to your speech, to what you're saying to yourself first. Because everything you say, there's a part in your brain that doesn't know that you're saying something to someone else. It internalizes. Woo, this is good in the neighborhood. It physically internalizes what you're saying. So whether negative or positive, as you begin to speak it, your brain begins to expand it or to bring it forth within your body. And so then your cells and all your organs begin to agree with what you just said. And then you begin to manifest that within yourself. That's how powerful you are. So if you say things like I'm ugly, or I'm stupid, or I'm never going to have anybody, or I'm always broke. When you begin to say those things, your body be like, okay, we're here to deliver. The answer is yes and amen. I'm going to bring that to you. And then we say, I want to be successful. You're creating the want. You should say, I will I will gives you the freedom of flowing that river, those rivers of living water in your life. Aren't you sick and tired of being sick and tired of waiting on somebody to come to deliver you? Deliver yourself. Yes. Sorry, I got a little excited. Deliver yourself, because you're the one that's with you 24/7, 365, 366 on a leap year. I don't care who you're married to. I don't care who you live with. You're the only one that's with you, and God are the only ones that are with you all the time. Deliver yourself. Who do you say I am? Who do you say that I am? Who are you saying that you are? Doesn't matter what other people say, because whatever they say doesn't have to be true until you blow breath into it and agree with them. Touching and agreeing on anything, it comes to be. And there's touching and agreeing within yourself, me, myself, and I, all of me, flesh, soul, and spirit. When you begin to agree as one, the marriage happens. And during the marriage, be fruitful and multiply. See, we take everything literally, but God is an inside God. It's time for us, if you're going to read the Bible, study it and get revelation on it. Don't read it. Because if you read it like a book. You'll take it literally. You won't see the revelation. You'll see where it's been tampered with. You'll see all of that with the eyesight, because it's illusional. But when you begin on the insight and read it, study it, revelational, see the light, see the breath on it, then it will be food for your soul. Well, so much on this Freedom Friday, on this Frequency Friday. The shift is on when you say it's on. It is your season when you say it's your season. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait for winter. When you say it's winter, it's winter. When you say it's spring, it's spring. When you say it's fall, it's fall. And when you say it's summer, it's summer. Your season lasts as long as you say your season lasts. Now, take authority. Move forward. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Remember, stop the excuses so the rivers of living water can flow. There's always a solution to every situation. So don't feel like where you are right now, there's no way out. There's always a way of escape. You have to create the way. You take responsibility for you. That's all we have to do really, is take responsibility for who we are and whose we are and what we're manifesting. Then we move to the greatest version of ourselves. Well, I could go on and on about this, because remember, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to me. And I'm having a conversation with me, but I'm allowing you to eavesdrop on the conversation so that you may supply a conversation with you, yourself, and you. Me, myself, and I. Can't say it the other way. But me, myself, and I. When you get a conversation, you are the most intelligent being within you. And when you and God start to chop it up, start to chat it up, start the conversation it up, something is always born. A seed is always planted. Pregnancy is inevitable. There's not a time that you are intimate with God when you go in and shut the door and intimacy, and you allow the intimacy within you. There's not a time that you're intimate that something is not birthing you. Whew. Something always has to die before something can birth. So you can look at that physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Something has to die in you. A seed has to die before it can produce the fruit, the branches, the trunk, the roots, the leaves. So what is it that is in you that needs to die? The excuses. And what is it that needs to flow? Your ideas, your health, your wealth, your prosperity, your motivation, your information, your education. All of that starts in here first. Let me stop. Because see, I'm encouraging myself to go on. And I'm encouraging you. You're just eavesdropping on the conversation I'm having with God. Listen, I am still asking that you invest in my writings called Me, the Mental Equation, where you take another trip in the conversation. I'm letting you eavesdrop on conversations I've had with God since I was diagnosed with the COVID-19, spent time in the hospital, went to the hospital Thanksgiving 2020, spent about 5 or 6 days in there learning how to breathe, remembering how to breathe rather, because it just affects your breathing and it also affects your mental stability, because everyone has a fear of the breathing stopping in your body. And so you have to face that fear, because I only had like 40% of oxygen when I got to the hospital. So I felt myself, you feel yourself just drifting off. I felt myself leaving here. And so this is not a joke. And again, as I speak to you, as the new variant comes in, anyway, Me is on Amazon.com. But as the new variant that they've labeled COVID-19 Delta, it's amazing that it's named after an aircraft, Delta. Now, be awake. Be awake. Because the first round, some of us didn't wake up. Look at the spiritual side. Some of us didn't wake up. So there's a second round coming to wake you up. Now, why do we need something that detrimental to wake us up? But some of us just refuse to walk in the light. So, as the second round goes, do not react. Reacting means out of your emotions, out of your feelings, but respond. Asking questions like, God, what is it that I am supposed to remember that you told me before I got in the womb that will wake me up in this life? Don't fear it. Be mindful of it. Don't focus on it. But allow God to speak to you, telling you this is not about, remember, something has to die before something bursts. It doesn't have to be physical. It can be in all those other areas. Just want to put that on your mind as we face the next phase of our awakening. Something's happening and something's dying on the outside so that the birth of your inside can go forth. Well, this is Michelle, and I'm your motivator on this Freedom Frequency Friday. We are facing our greatest version of ourselves. Face yourself. Look yourself in the eye, in the mirror, and look in the windows of your soul. We've been created by the Creator to be creative, so start creating your creations and stop duplicating. They say don't reinvent the wheel, but the wheel needs an upgrade. And so do you, and so does your salvation. May the love, joy, peace, power, and sound-mindedness be your soul food for today. Create your day. Don't let your day create you. And stop making excuses so that you can open the door for your rivers to flow. Thank you, HAPS TV, for allowing me this opportunity. Download HAPS TV app, and you can support me in this endeavor to reach the nations, to awaken, to enlighten, to enlarge, to increase, to motivate, all of those things. So if this has been a blessing to you, send me a message and I will respond. My email is moretherock@hotmail.com. Thank you for allowing me to take about 30 minutes of your time to increase your knowledge of what's to come. This is prophetic. This is a prophetic station, so you have to listen to it prophetically. Can't just listen to it and not pay attention or be mindful of focus. Okay? Be blessed.